Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So in the last class, we discussed about acceleration, right? Today, inshallah, we are going to learn how to solve problem regarding acceleration. So let us take a look at this problem that I have already written on the board. Velocity of a car increases to 45 degree. Okay, that means previously it was something less. Now it has increased and become 45 meter per second. So that is the final velocity. So what is the initial velocity? It increases to 45 meter per second from rest. So whenever I say the body is at rest, what is the velocity of it?
Zero.
Zero. Okay. So this is
Yeah.
the initial velocity. It was at rest. Then
Yeah.
someone started driving the car and the velocity rose to 45 meter per second. Okay. Within
Yes.
15 seconds.
Mhm.
This is the time. So we
Yeah.
need to calculate the acceleration of the car. So through this problem, I'm going to show you how you need to answer such numerical problem in the answer paper itself. Okay. At
Okay,
first,
sir.
Yes, sir.
the given information. You will write given initial velocity of the car. Initial velocity, comma u. We represent initial velocity by u.
You.
It is 0 meter per second. And the final velocity is also given, that is represented by v,
V.
and that is it is 45 meter per second, and time, comma t, is given 15 seconds. Okay, you may write only 15s, that represents seconds. Okay, so no problem, 15s. Okay, then what we need to find out? We need to find out the acceleration. So acceleration, comma a is equal to what? We don't know. Okay, so at first we have given up, we have list up the given information and what we need to find out. Then we know the equation to find out acceleration, right? What is the equation?
Yes, sir.
A is
V
equals to
minus
V
u
minus U by
v
T
minus u divided by time.
minus. Yeah,
So a
different.
is equal to v minus u by t. Hmm?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
the final velocity,
45 minus
45
0
minus 0 by
by
15.
15.
okay, so that gives
9 by
us
3.
3
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Yes. The
per
answer is 3.
second
Yes,
square.
sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then you will write answer.
Okay, sir.
So this is the way to get the full marks. Okay, you need to list up the given information and then you write what you need to find out, and then you have to say that which equation you are going to use. Then you have to put the values and then find the answer. In the answer, writing only 3 is not enough. You have to write the unit also, meter per second square. I have seen some students don't, or understand the importance of writing the unit. They just write 3 over here. Okay. Now, if you write only 3, then the teacher who is going to examine your paper has the liberty to, deduct some mark. So do not give that opportunity to any teacher. Okay. Write in such a way that uh,
Okay, sir.
there is no opportunity to deduct your mark. Now, I'm going to change the question a little bit. Okay. Okay, so I have changed the question a little bit. Now let us see how to solve this problem. A car moving with 45 meter per second. It is already moving with 45 meter per second. That means it is the initial velocity now. Okay, then it comes to rest. That means the driver must have applied the brake. And when someone applies the brake of a car, the velocity of the car increases or decreases.
Decrease.
Decreases.
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 So
Decrease.
applying the brake, what will happen? Car will come to rest. That means the final velocity will be 0. Okay, now this is the initial velocity. Let us write initial velocity u is equal to 45 meter per second. And the final
Yeah.
velocity we got to know
0.
come to rest.
Zero.
Now finally
Yes.
is 0. And the time is still as same 15 seconds. Now what it is going to be? So acceleration now, final velocity minus initial velocity. Final velocity, we have 0 here, minus
0, yeah, minus 45
45 divided by.
by 15.
Now what is the result going to be?
So minus 45 divided by 15.
Yes, what is it?
Minus 3.
Minus 3.
Minus 3.
Minus 3.
So now you can see that the acceleration is negative, right?
Yes, sir.
So can I say that when the velocity increases, the acceleration is positive, and when the velocity decreases, the acceleration is negative?
Yes, sir. We can say.
Yes.
When the acceleration is when the acceleration is negative, or I can say the velocity is decreasing, that time acceleration is called with a different name. That name is deceleration.
Oh.
Deceleration, or it is called retardation.
Sir, when we call this name, when acceleration is
When the
increased or
velocity
decreased.
acceleration is
Before
decreased.
we got acceleration positive, so it is called acceleration. But if we get the value of acceleration negative, then we will call it deceleration or retardation. Okay?
Okay.
So when the
Yes,
negative
sir.
increases, we will say the body is accelerating. That means you will actually you will understand. I think boys will know it better because they have more experience with cars. So whenever we press, it is called the accelerator, right? You remember?
Yeah,
Yes.
I saw.
Yeah,
Accelerator,
sir.
because it accelerates.
It accelerates.
Increases the
Yeah.
velocity, right? Okay. So
Yeah.
Yes.
similarity. And when you apply the brake, it decelerates. Okay. So
Yes.
the velocity.
Yes.
Okay. So if in the question, sometimes you will be asked to find the deceleration of the car. Okay. If you are asked
Okay.
Yes.
deceleration, then this is your answer. But if they are asking you find the deceleration of the car, then you have to write one more line. I will show you what are the mistakes that the students make here. Okay. Let me show you.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
After this answer, the final line that you need to write can be written in two ways. Number one
Okay.
is either you can write acceleration is minus 3 meter per second square. Either you can write it in this way,
Okay.
or you can write deceleration is 3 meter per second square. So the difference between them is whenever you say acceleration, you have to put the minus to indicate that the velocity is decreasing. Understood? Then
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
if you already mention the deceleration, that means you are already saying that the velocity is decreasing. So you don't need to put
Yeah.
minus over here. So you will write only the velocity is decreasing deceleration. You says that at what rate? 3 meter per second square. Okay. Now can you see the writings clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So either you will write in this way or in this way. Now what are the mistakes that the student will make? I have seen the students writing deceleration. They write deceleration is minus 3 meter per second square. Now if you write deceleration, you cannot put minus over here. Be very careful, okay? These are the mistakes for which I will be deducting your marks. So later, please don't tell me that I didn't inform you. So if you write deceleration, you have to write 3 only. You cannot put minus, okay? And if you are writing
Okay.
acceleration, then you have to write minus 3. Now, when you will write which one? In the question, I have told you, find the acceleration of the car. As I have told you to find the acceleration, you have to write the first line. Acceleration is minus 3 meter per second square. But here, if I had asked you, find the deceleration of the car, then you have to write the second line. Deceleration is 3 meter per second square. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it.
Deceleration, this word might be replaced by retardation. Do not get confused. They both mean the same thing.
Okay.
Okay. Now I would like you to realize why the acceleration becomes negative while the velocity is decreasing. Okay, let us try to think and feel it. Okay, do not just memorize, feel physics. Okay, that will make it very easier for you to solve the creative. If you can feel what is going on, then whatever the stem is talking about, you can sort it out. Okay, so do not memorize. Memorizing will not help you. Okay, because you are not going to see any familiar question in the exam paper. Okay, the stem that you will read in the question, it will be totally new to you. Okay, so that is why try to understand, not memorizing. So let us try to feel why acceleration is positive when the velocity is increasing. Now, velocity. At first, we will talk about that the velocity is increasing. Okay, so initial velocity is u and v is the final velocity. So if the velocity
Yes.
has increased, which one will be greater, u or v?
U.
V.
V, sir, V, V.
V. V.
Going to be greater
Sir, V.
because the velocity has increased. That means initial
Yeah.
one was something lower, then it increased and became v. So v will be greater. Now I have
Yes.
some students of grade 9, 10 who are confused which direction to put this sign. I tell you to I like to remember it in this way, that consider this one as the mouth of a crocodile, and the crocodile will open its mouth to the bigger portion. ও সবসময় বড়টা খাইতে চাইবে, তাই না? তো যেদিকে বড়
জি।
সেদিকে মুখ খুলবে। So here v is greater, so v এর দিকেও মুখ খোলা রাখবে এবং u টা ছোট, এর দিকে মুখ বন্ধ থাকবে. So you can remember it in this way. So u is smaller than v. So what is acceleration? Acceleration is v minus u by t. Now as
জি।
v is greater, we agreed that v is greater, u is smaller. So when we subtract something smaller from something greater, we get a positive value, right? Like v is
Yes.
v will be 5 and u is a smaller. So something smaller from 5 we can consider 3. So if I subtract,
Yeah.
we're going to get a positive
2.
value. Correct? Now
Yeah.
let's
Yes. Yeah.
decreasing. Velocity decreasing. What is the scenario? Again, we have u. The initial was u, then it decreased. It decreased. So which one is greater now?
Sir,
U is the
initial,
greater.
U is
U
greater.
is greater.
U is the greater.
Greater.
Initial.
Now again,
Yes.
a is equal to v minus u by t. So as you say,
Yeah.
u is greater. This one is greater and this one is smaller. So whenever we subtract
Yeah.
something greater from something smaller, we always get a negative value. What is the proof?
Yes.
Let us consider any value u. Let us consider this one to be 10. And v has to be smaller than that. U has to be greater. So v we will consider something smaller than 10. Let us say we consider 7. Okay. So we replace
Yeah.
Okay.
v has considered 7, right? So 7 minus
7.
velocity will be higher.
10.
So you will get a
3.
negative value over here, right?
Minus 3. Minus 3.
Whatever the value is, minus will be there. So that is why when the
Yes.
decreasing, the final velocity is less than the initial velocity. As a result, we get the acceleration negative. We call it retardation. And when the velocity is increasing, the final velocity is higher. So as a result, we get a positive value of acceleration or acceleration itself. Okay. Anybody has any doubt?
Yes, sir.
No,
No, sir.
sir.
Okay. So these are called the equations of motion. Okay. Now these equations we are going to use
Yes, sir.
while solving the numerical problems. Okay. Now, before I start solving problem using this equation, I want you to I want to show you that how this equation were derived. Okay, this equation didn't just fell from the sky. Through some calculation, this equation were developed. So, inshallah, today we will try to discuss at least two of them. That how it was developed. Okay. Now, let us see.
Excuse me, sir. I want to say something.
Sir,
Bolo.
Sir, there is someone as known as
in our
Putimas.
class,
It's an
yeah,
unknown person.
in before
He
subject also showing a person's name Putimats.
Okay, no problem. He decided to be a fish. Huh? So v equal to u plus at, inshallah, we will try to prove it now. Now from the definition of acceleration, what we know? A is equal to v minus u divided by t. We know that this is the equation to calculate the acceleration. Now from here, inshallah, we will be able to prove it. For this, we need to cross multiply at. A into t, it will be equal to v minus u. Now this minus u, if I change the side, it will become at plus u, it will be equal to v. We need to just rearrange it to write it in this shape. So it will be v equal to u plus at. The first equation is proved.
Oh,
Have any doubt?
no, sir.
Okay. So this is the first one. Now, inshallah, we will see how the second equation was developed. So we know that average speed. Oh, at first, let me write the equation as equal to u plus v divided by 2 into t. We are going to prove this. So average speed is equal to, we know that distance traveled divided by time taken. Correct or not?
Yes, sir. It's correct.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If I tell you that a body is having initial velocity of u, final velocity v, then from these two, how can you calculate the average speed of them? Average speed will be u plus v divided by 2. Correct or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Average means this way.
Yes.
The average speed. Now average speed we will replace average speed by u plus v divided by 2. Then we will write equal. Then we will write distance traveled. So what is the distance traveled? We represent it by s. Okay, s represents the distance.
S.
And time, it will be t. So now if I cross multiply, I can easily write s equal to u plus v divided by 2 into t. Here t is divided, so whenever you change the side, it will become multiplied. So that gives us the second equation. Anybody have any doubt?
No.
Sir,
No,
S is
no,
equal to
sir.
distance travel. What is
Can
the
you
S?
again?
Sorry?
Sir, can you explain again?
Yeah, no problem. So we know that from the definition of average velocity, average speed or average velocity, whatever you say, no problem, it is equal to distance traveled divided by time. Now average speed, this one can be written in this way also, like initial velocity, final velocity, we take the summation of it and divide it by 2. That also gives us the average, right? So this one is equal to, we can write distance traveled, that is s, and time taken, that is t. So here we have the time as divided. So if I cross multiply, what will happen? U plus v divided by 2 will be there. With it, t will be multiplied as t is divided in this side. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. If anybody still have any doubt, then let me know. I can show you or explain it in or by writing one more line. I have seen the students
S.
face, difficulty.
Okay, sir. Then explain.
Okay.
Sir, S also represents second, no?
See, I will tell you. 2 into s cross multiply. You know cross multiply, right? 2 into s, it will be 2s. Then t into,
Yes.
so it will be u plus v into. So from here, s is equal to what we can write. 2 is multiplied over here. If we change the side, it will be divided.
Yeah.
So
Divide. Yeah.
into t. Okay, so we can write it in this way. It doesn't matter whether you write this t over here with them in the numerator, or you can write the side also. They both mean the same thing, no problem. Okay, now it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now let us try to take a look at the third one. How to prove the third one? To prove the third one, we will take help from the first two. Okay, if we combine these two, we will get the third one. How? S is equal to ut plus half at square. So this is what we have to prove. So we will start by writing these two equations. We know that v is equal to u plus at. I have already proved it. And Already we saw that as
Sir, ut plus 1 by 2.
ut plus 1 by 2 at square.
Okay, sir.
So now what we will do is s is equal to, we will replace the value of v from here. See, v can be replaced by u plus at. So here we already have u plus then v. Instead of v, we will write this u plus
U.
at
Yeah.
divided by 2. And then this t can be multiplied with the numerator. We will do it. Then s is equal to, it will be u plus u, that is 2u plus at.
2u. Yeah.
And then let us continue. S is equal to, if I multiply this t, if I lift up the bracket, then what will happen? It will be 2u
80 square.
plus a t square.
Yeah.
Into t, it will become t square
This.
divided by 2. Now s will be equal to, I can break it up, 2ut divided by 2 plus a t square divided by 2. I can break it up in this way, right?
2.
Then 2
Yeah, yeah.
they will cancel each other, so s will become equal to ut plus
ut.
square by 2. This one can be written as half at square. Okay, so this is what.
Oh, okay, sir.
Anybody has any doubt?
Sir, can you explain one more time? Then it will be
Sir, why half 80 square is given here?
At square divided by 2, it is same as half at square. Maybe this
Oh,
is
okay,
some
yes.
confusion. No problem, let me explain it in this way. Let us say I have 1 by x into 2. Now some students are
okay.
confused whether this 2 will be multiplied with 1 or this 2 will be multiplied with x. Always remember, this 2 has a divided by 1, okay, which is not written because divided by 1 doesn't bring any kind of change. 2 divided by 1 is 2 only. But what is the advantage of writing it in this way? Now this makes it very clear that 2 will be multiplied with 1, numerator with numerator. So 2 ones are 2, then x into 1, x. Denominator will be multiplied with denominator. Okay, so it will be 2 by x. Now generally, if I show you, then see what happened. From here to here, what happened? This 2 was multiplied with 1 and it became 2 by x. So always remember, if you have any such shape, okay, this number, whatever it is written here, that will be multiplied with 1 only, okay, with the denominator. Now here,
Oh,
1 by 2 at square.
yeah.
At
To
square,
be multiplied with 1.
so at square into 1,
Yeah, yeah.
is at square by 2. So if I can write this one from this one, so from this I should be able to write this one.
Yeah.
So it's up to you actually. If you want, you can keep it, in this format, that at square by 2. No problem. They both mean the same thing. No issue. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now it's time to prove the fourth one, and with that, inshallah, we will put an end to our class today. These things must be there in your note. Okay. Okay, so from the first, at first, let me write what I'm going to prove, inshallah. B square equal to a square plus 2as. Okay, this is what we have to prove. Now, notice something. Here, the time is absent, right? T. Okay. In this equation, there is no t. But in the first three equations, there is t, t, t. Correct or not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That is why, let us start with the first equation, u plus b divided by 2 into t. So here, somehow if I can replace the value of this t, there is a possibility of getting this, right? Now, how can I replace the value of t? I can find it out from the first equation. So first equation says that b is equal to u plus t. So in order to find out t, I need to change the size of this u. So it will be v minus u equal to at. Now this a is multiplied over here. So if I change the side, it will be divided. V minus
Yeah.
by a is equal to t. So I have found the value of t, right? So if I replace this t with this value, then t will be vanished from here, and then there is a possibility of getting this. So let us see how we can do this. S is equal to u plus v divided by 2 into, here t will be replaced by v minus u by a from this equation, okay? Now,
Okay.
I will rewrite it u plus v as v plus u. Is there any problem? 2 plus 3,
No.
5, and 3 plus 2 is still 5, right? So u plus
Yeah.
v plus u, it doesn't make any difference. I can write it, okay? It's mathematically correct.
Yes.
So why I will write it in this way? Inshallah, I will show you. Now, see, we know that the numerator is going to be multiplied with numerator, right? So v minus u,
Yes.
v minus u. Does that ring any bell? Any formula that you might have learned?
Yeah. We learned it in class 8.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. A square minus b square.
Exactly. Who gave the correct answer?
Sifat.
Sifat. Excellent, my boy. Very good. Okay. So
Okay,
here
sir.
we know that we learned a formula like this: a square minus b square as a plus b into a minus b. So here we have v plus u into v minus u. V plus u, v minus u. So it can be written as v square minus u square. So let me write it. So if I multiply 2 into a, it will become 2a, and a plus b into a minus
Yes.
will be a square minus b square. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let us
Yes,
cross
sir.
Yes.
because we have 2as here. So if I cross multiply, then I will get 2as.
Yeah.
So it will be,
Yes, sir.
here we have s divided by 1. So 1 into v square minus u square will be v square minus u square is equal to s into 2a. It will be 2as. We are almost there, right? To
Yes, sir.
we need to do only one more thing. What is it?
We must change the position of u. We will make it positive.
To
So
change
it's v.
side. So v square is equal to u square is minus. If I change the side, it will become plus. So it
Yeah,
will,
it will be plus.
yeah. So this is our desired equation. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
the proof of the 4 equations of motion. These are very important. Okay, very important. Okay, whenever we solve creative, inshallah, you will see that we will be using extensive use of these 4 equations. That is why understanding the equation, how they were derived. Okay, understanding this is of utmost importance. Now listen very carefully what I say. I'm saying understanding the derivation is important, but memorizing is not necessary, because during our time I was an SSC examinee back in 2007. Okay, in our time creative system was not there. Okay, so as a result, what happened, we were asked to prove all this. Okay, so we had to memorize all these proofs, but in your creative system, memorizing this proof is not necessary, but understanding it necessary. Why? Because if you understand how the equations were developed, then only you will be able to use them in solving numerical problems. Okay, so please, if
Yes,
I
sir.
at home, try to
Oh,
understand each and every line, but no need to memorize. Okay, do not put pressure on your brain unnecessarily. So we have less than 1 minute. Inshallah, we will see you tomorrow. We will meet again tomorrow, inshallah. And before that, kindly go through all these equations so that when I solve problems regarding this equation tomorrow, you understand it easily. Okay?
okay, sir.
Yes,
Assalamualaikum,
sir.
sir. Thank you.
Assalamu
Thank you,
alaikum, sir.
sir. Assalamu alaikum, sir.